In the central palace, blanketed in thick falling snow, a fragile cough echoed repeatedly through the frigid air. Outside the sick room, two palace maids huddled under the eaves, whispering anxiously. Recently, Kui Fai's illness has worsened. I fear she may not survive this winter. The other maid replied. After all, she was once the most favored. Now, His Majesty hasn't even visited her once. How pitiful. As they murmured, the sound of footsteps crunching on the snow startled them. Their voices trembled. Who is coming here? Meanwhile, inside the room, on an intricately carved bed, the frail form of Kui Fai lay buried beneath thick blankets, her persistent cough continuing unabated. A palace maid entered and approached the bed, carrying a steaming bowl of medicine. She spoke softly yet with concern. Kui Fai, it's time for your medicine. From beneath the silken covers, a slender hand emerged and gently parted the curtains. A face, once praised as the most beautiful in the capital, now gaunt and ravaged by illness, was revealed. Her voice was weak. Namso, bring me a mirror. Namso respectfully replied, yes. Looking at her pale, sickly reflection, Van Hoa Lung felt a pang of sorrow. My complexion is so poor. What if His Majesty visits? How can I see him looking like this? Nam So truthfully replied, Your Majesty, His Majesty said he is busy with state affairs today and won't have time to visit. Her expression turned melancholic. Since I fell ill, His Majesty's visits have become less and less frequent. Suddenly, commotion erupted outside. The palace maid's panicked voices rose. Tuk Fai, you cannot enter. Kui Fai is still ill. But the palace maid's words were ignored. The other concubine disregarded them and burst through the doors. This arrogant and self-assured woman was none other than Tuk Fai, Dung Noyet Dung. She strolled casually further into the room, stopping before Van Kui Fai's bed, her demeanor unwavering. With a contemptuous look, she sneered at the ailing woman. Oh, so elder sister isn't dead yet. Van Hoa Lung retorted calmly. Disappointing you, isn't it? This one is still very much alive. Dung Noyet Dung, enraged by the implication, glared viciously. Why don't you just die? Van Hoa Lung offered a weak smile, her voice frail, but her words sharp as knives. Tuk Fai, you usually enjoy pretending to be gentle and kind. Why are you speaking so cruelly today? Or have you finally dropped the act? Unable to contain her fury, Tuk Fai slapped the Kui Fai hard across the face. You sickly thing. How dare you occupy the position of Kui Fai for so long? Your Van family has abandoned you. You're worthless, so just die already. The position of Kui Fai is mine, and the position of Empress will be mine sooner or later. Clutching her face in pain, Van Hoa Lung glared at her attacker. You dare strike this Kui Fai. Suddenly, she froze. The surge of anger sent a sharp pain through her chest, leaving her gasping for breath. Despite her labored breathing, Van Kui Fai didn't back down. She struggled to sit up, warning Tuk Fai, you dare commit such an offense against your superior. Aren't you afraid of His Majesty's punishment? Zungmui Jung Skop His Majesty. After 7 years, elder sister still hasn't learned. His Majesty has never truly favored you. She lunged forward, gripping Van Hoa Lung's face. You, in your ambition to become empress, acted tyrannically, bullying and oppressing the other concubines, even consorting with officials. Now, you're ravaged by illness. It's all retribution. His Majesty sees with hatred every day, wishing he could burn you to ashes. Van Hoa Lung was instantly taken aback. Before she could question His Majesty, Tuk Fai bluntly revealed, Sister, do you know where your illness comes from? Every bowl of medicine His Majesty sends you is poison, meant to send you to hell. She refused to accept it, firmly denying, I don't believe His Majesty would treat me like this. We've had feelings for each other since our youth. He said he loved me, he said. At this point, she couldn't help but cough up blood, partly due to the worsening of her illness. Witnessing this, Dung Noyet Dung quickly covered her mouth in disgust. Disgusting. If it weren't for the power of the Van family backing you, His Majesty would never have married you. When you did those things, did you ever think you'd be driven to ruin by the very person who shared your pillow? Van Hoa Lung, tears streaming down her face, looked up and retorted, Everything I did was for His Majesty. You swore that I, Van Hoa Lung, would be the most noble empress of the great Zhao. If you break your oath, you will suffer karmic retribution. I am the eldest daughter of the Prime Minister. I've lived a life of luxury and nobility since childhood. My reputation and prestige in Jinling are known to all. That year, During the Qingming Festival, I met Ho Quinn, who won first place in the poetry competition. He was so talented and refined. I admired him, so I disguised myself as a scholar to get to know him. Later, I learned that Ho Quinn was a prince, but born to a palace maid, so no one in the palace paid attention to this seventh prince. My destiny was predetermined to marry the most powerful man in the world. But Ho Quinn was different. He didn't love me for my status, and my heart belonged only to him. Hualeng, if you are willing to marry me, I will fight for that meaningless throne. Only then will I be worthy of you. If one day I ascend the throne, you will be my one and only empress for this life and the next. All right, I am willing to marry you. You must not break your promise to me. And so, I married Ho Quinn and became the seventh princess consort. For him, I spared no means to win over officials, aiming to divide them. I used every scheme to eliminate dissenters. Therefore, I became the wicked consort, enduring the criticisms of others without complaint. Also, he could reach the summit, ascend the throne, and become emperor. But unexpectedly, after entering the palace, I fell gravely ill and never recovered. The great Zhao cannot have a sickly, frail empress. I temporarily bestow upon you the title of Kui Fai. Once you recover, I will officially instate you as empress of the great Zhao. Unexpectedly, my illness lingered for 7 years, 7 dark years. You couldn't even hold on to the position of empress. The Wan family has no use for a worthless daughter like you. Abandoned by her own family, I bestowed upon you the position of Kui Fai, a noble title. But you cannot expect me to visit you. Constantly scorned and betrayed. Your Majesty, Tuk Fai has left. Please don't listen to her nonsense. Take care of your health. Van Hoa Lung stared at her reflection, bitterly lamenting, in just 7 short years, have I become this frail and unsightly. The 2 palace maids attending her wept with sympathy for her fate. Oh, Your Majesty. Unwilling to remain tormented, she ordered her close attendant, Nam So, quickly apply my makeup. I will personally question His Majesty. I want to know if he married me simply to exploit me in his quest for the throne. 12 years of cherished affection. Was it all just a game? Was I merely a pawn to be discarded at will? On the frigid path leading to the palace gates, Nam so gently supported her, softly advising, Your Majesty, please walk slowly. Suddenly, the clatter of wheels echoed from afar. A luxurious carriage glided past them through the white snow. A young, beautiful woman sat prominently within. Hoa Lung, catching a glimpse of her, couldn't help but feel curious. Nam So, who is in that carriage? Nam So quickly replied, Your Majesty, that is Miss Liu of the Marquis of Jinyang's residence. I heard she is about to be appointed empress. Van Hoa Lung felt as if struck by lightning. Her eyes widened in disbelief. Her whole body went limp, staggering. Her heart felt as if it were being sliced by 1,000 knives. She scoffed, Empress. Anyone can be empress, except me. Ho Quinn, I trusted you. You broke your promise. You are ungrateful and treacherous. Sooner or later, you will face retribution. At the Quan Hong Palace. Outside, the snow fell relentlessly. Inside the study, Emperor Zhao De, Ho Quinn, was reviewing memorials when a eunuch entered and announced, Your Majesty, Miss Liu has entered the palace. Where should she be accommodated? Ho Quinn said indifferently, As you see fit. The old eunuch continued, Yes, Your Majesty. There is also another matter. The palace maids from Van Hoa Lung's palace reported that Her Majesty has not taken her medicine for several days now. Despite the seriousness of the matter, the emperor's voice remained cold. Don't bother with her. It's just a petty trick to lure me to see her. Just as he finished speaking, a palace maid rushed in, frantically calling, Your Majesty. Your Majesty. The old eunuch quickly stopped her and scolded, You are a palace made of Kui Fai. You are in His Majesty's presence. What is the meaning of this frantic behavior? Ho Quinn, focused on his work, asked indifferently, What is it? Nam So, tears streaming down her face, said Kui Fai, Your Majesty has taken her own life. Ho Quinn was startled. He angrily threw the book in his hand onto the table. He stood up abruptly and roared, How could she do this? How dare she? Then he turned around and asked anxiously, Did she leave any last words for me? Nam So recounted sorrowfully, Your Majesty. She said she never thought Your Majesty would detest her so. If Your Majesty wishes for my death this much, I shall fulfill your wish one last time. Even if I am reincarnated as a wandering, vengeful spirit, I will never forgive you for your betrayal, for your faithlessness amidst the endless, cold nights of winter. Van Hoa Lung used a hairpin to end her own life. Her body lay still on the pristine white snow. In the 7th year of Chiu Duk's reign, Kui Fai passed away. 7 days later, in the dead of night, a carriage rattled along a deserted road, surrounded by a gloomy forest. Inside, a voice rang out, unable to conceal its glee. "Did you hear? That wicked Kui Fai in the palace got her just deserts. She died a terrible death. A woman with such a wicked heart, who committed so many evil deeds. I fear she'll become a vengeful ghost." The person sitting next to her quickly brushed it off with a worried tone. "Don't speak such nonsense. Kui Fai's tomb is nearby. Today is her 7th day. Keep your voice down. Don't provoke the evil spirits." Opposite them sat a mysterious woman, cloaked and hooded. She gently lifted the carriage curtain and ordered, "Stop the carriage. I want to get off." The driver abruptly stopped and asked in surprise, "Miss, we haven't reached Jinling yet. There's no village ahead, no village behind. Where do you intend to go now?" The mysterious woman jumped down without hesitation. She coldly tossed some coins toward the driver and declared, "Today is the 7th day. It's time for me to return to Van Kui Fai's tomb." A cold gust of wind swept past, adding to the woman's eerie aura. Her strange behavior terrified the 2 old women in the carriage, who trembled and cried out, "Help, it's a ghost." The driver, petrified with fear, sat frozen like a statue. At Van Kui Fai's tomb, joss paper fluttered in the wind, creating a chilling atmosphere. The mysterious woman slowly entered the room where Van Hoa Lung's coffin lay. A deathly silence filled the space. White silk drapes hung suspended, swaying gently in the breeze. She slowly lowered her hood and stood boldly before the body of the wicked consort, without a trace of fear. Looking at the still body lying before her, she calmly uttered, "Van Hoa Lung, I haven't died, nor have I become a vengeful spirit. I never thought that after suicide, I could actually be reborn." In a small room in the Thieu family's village estate, a physician sat by the bed, carefully taking the pulse of the unconscious girl. After a long while, he shook his head and said to the maid standing beside him, "Your miss fell into the lake and lost half her life. She no longer has the will to live. Prepare for the funeral." Hearing this, the maid couldn't hold back her tears and sobbed, "Mississippi, my miss is so unfortunate. Her mother died of a serious illness early on. After the master remarried, he sent Miss to the village estate and neglected her. If Miss is gone, what will this servant do?" Sob, the young miss remained motionless on the bed, deeply unconscious. But in her subconscious, a persistent voice echoed, "Hoa Lung, Hoa Lung." From the shadows, a figure with exquisite shoes stepped forward and continued to call, "Hoa Lung, Hoa Lung." The girl unconsciously stirred and opened her eyes. A beautiful and dignified woman, dressed in noble attire, questioned her, "Thieu Hoa Lung, daughter of the left censor-in-chief. Your mother died early, your father loathes you, and now you've been harmed by your stepmother. Why have you used your life to bring me here?" Thieu Hoa Lung looked up in a daze, her voice bewildered. "Who are you?" The woman replied, "I am the current imperial noble consort, Van Hoa Lung." Thieu Hoa Lung lowered her head, muttering in despair, "Although my name is the same as your ladyship's, our statuses are worlds apart." Van Hoa Lung immediately retorted, "Imperial noble consort, so what? Even until my death, I couldn't escape that inner palace, just like a prison." Thieu Hoa Lung suddenly grasped Van Kui Fai's skirt, expressing her grievance. I'm dead. I didn't slip and fall into the water. My stepmother sent someone to kill me. I'm not resigned. I want revenge, but I'm useless. I can't do anything." Having said this, she clutched the skirt even tighter in anguish. Tears streamed down her face as she pleaded with Kui Fai, "I am weak and powerless. I cannot fight them. But you, with your high position in the palace, you certainly can. I beg you, I'm willing to offer my life to you. Please, help me avenge my death." Van Hoa Lung, looking into Thieu Hoa Lung's eyes, filled with resentment and pain, felt a deep empathy welling up inside her. "I too was once trapped in a mire, struggling until death. I understand your pain." She quickly bent down, helped Thieu Hoa Lung to her feet, and replied resolutely, "I will help you. If I have the chance to live again, I will definitely avenge you, and avenge myself as well." Thieu Hoa Lung smiled contentedly and whispered, "You promise me." Then, she gradually faded into nothingness. Back in reality, she grasped Van Kui Fai's cold hand, or rather, her own hand in her former body, and made up her mind. "I agreed to help Hoa Lung. I will definitely avenge us both." Suddenly, her eyes were drawn to something familiar. This is the bracelet my mother gave me in my past life. I must take it with me. Thinking this, she quickly and nervously reached out to remove the bracelet. But just then, the chilling sensation of a sharp blade against her neck made her freeze. A cold voice whispered in her ear, its tone full of pressure. Audacious thief. How dare you steal from Kui Fai's tomb? Panic surged through her. Damn, I've been discovered. Hoa Lung, with no other choice, tried to find an excuse. Slowly drawing a small knife hidden in her sleeve, she spoke earnestly, attempting to distract her opponent. Kind sir, please show mercy. I'm not a thief. I have my own troubles, and had no choice but to take Kui Fai's jade bracelet. The mysterious masked figure responded probingly. Oh, what troubles could you have that require you to carry a hidden knife? As the figure finished speaking, she didn't hesitate to retaliate. Her attacker's skills were considerable, immediately parrying the blow. The two blades clashed, screeching in the silent space. She caught a glimpse of the other person's face. Hoa Lung was startled, thinking that the blue eyes belonged to someone from the long-gone foreign tribes. Suspicious, she sternly asked, "Who are you? Why are you here in Van Kui Fai's tomb?" Hearing this, a murderous glint flashed in the masked figure's eyes. With a sudden, powerful swing, he knocked the knife from her hand. Quick as lightning, he pressed his own blade against her throat, holding her captive and threateningly growled, "You petty thief, you can barely save your own life, and you dare question others." Just at that critical moment, an authoritative voice echoed from outside. His Majesty has arrived. Both of them froze, startled mid-struggle. Only one thought echoed in their minds. We're in trouble. Hoa Lung wondered in a panic. How did he get here? The masked figure couldn't hide his alarm, whispering His Majesty. Without time to think, he grabbed her hand and pulled her away decisively. The situation was urgent, so she had no choice but to hurry after him. He rushed into a corner, concealed by the surrounding white silk drapes. He covered her mouth and whispered, "Don't speak." He quietly parted the curtain and stealthily observed the situation outside. Footsteps echoed steadily, carrying a suffocating pressure. Two eunuchs respectfully opened the door. His Majesty's imposing figure slowly entered the dimly lit room where Kui Fai's body lay, facing the incense burner, emitting swirling plumes of smoke. Ho Quinn waved his hand, ordering, "Close the door and leave." The masked figure frowned with worry, thinking, "This is bad. With the door closed, he'll easily discover us." Hoa Lung quickly removed his hand from her mouth and whispered, "Trespassing in Kui Fai's tomb is a capital offense." The masked figure glanced at her with icy eyes and replied, "So is yours." Seeing his reaction, Hoa Lung quickly made a suggestion. "My life is worthless. If I can help you escape, will you spare me?" She pleaded, looking at him with imploring eyes. His Majesty, lost in thought before Kui Fai's body, suddenly sensed movement. His sharp gaze immediately turned towards their hiding place, and he roared furiously, "Who's there? Come out." Hoa Lung didn't hesitate. She rushed out and knelt kowtowing. "Your Majesty, forgive me, forgive me." The Emperor questioned her, "Who are you?" Feigning fear and trembling, she replied, "This humble woman once received kindness from Van Kui Fai. I only wish to offer incense for her farewell. Your Majesty, please forgive me." Inwardly, she thought, Ho Quinn, though cruel to me, values his reputation. He definitely won't make things difficult for a commoner. The Emperor stared coldly at her for a moment before speaking. "Light the incense." Hoa Lung looked up, tears welling in her eyes. "Yes, Your Majesty." She quickly rose and carefully offered incense before the deceased memorial tablet. The dry sound of the incense sticks hitting the censer echoed. A wave of resentment towards Ho Quinn washed over her. "Perhaps you never considered that the Kui Fai you poisoned is alive and standing right before you. 12 years of deep affection, only to receive your heartlessness in return. Your cruelty has inflicted unbearable pain upon me, trapping me within the walls of this treacherous palace. A heartless husband, a disapproving father, all who have wronged me. I, Van Hoa Lung, would not spare a single one of you." With this thought, she grabbed a handful of gold coins. She scattered them in the air, declaring to herself, "Wait for me. Wait until I avenge Thieu Hoa Lung. Our future is a dead end. Only one of us can survive." The rites complete, the Emperor approached and commanded, "You may leave." Hoa Lung bowed her head respectfully. But before leaving, she didn't forget to open the window and leave a few sarcastic remarks. "Consort One once told me she most enjoys the tranquility of the moonlight like this." eyes. So, your majesty has come here late at night, specifically to bid farewell to Consort One, haven't you? Such deep affection, yet not witnessed and praised by the people. What a pity. Finishing her words, she suddenly glanced at the emperor with eyes full of resentment in the shadows. The masked figure watching couldn't help but wonder, why are her eyes so full of murderous intent? Hualeng said nothing more, but silently left, her figure fading into the quiet night. After walking a distance from Wan Kuifai's tomb, she looked back one last time, clasped her hands together, and silently told herself, starting today, Wan Hualeng is truly dead. In this world, there's only few Hualeng. Suddenly, from behind, a dark figure rushed forward and coarsely shouted, "You little wretch." Having just turned around, he grabbed her face and demanded, "Who are you? And do you really know Wan Kuifai?" Hualeng firmly retorted, "Regardless of whether what I said is true or false, I've already helped you. I hope you will keep your promise and spare my life." Instead of reasoning, the masked figure suddenly resorted to coercion. "Where is Wan Kuifai's bracelet? Hand it over." She had no choice but to give him the bracelet, but still tried to justify herself. "Sir, I truly didn't take this bracelet out of greed." Having obtained what he wanted, the masked figure released her and shooed her away. "Go." Hualeng, unwilling to give up, tried to hold him back. "Sir, this bracelet is very important to me." He paid no attention to what she said, but focused on admiring the bracelet and threatened, "If you don't leave, don't blame me for going back on my word." Hualeng thought helplessly to herself, "Forget it. Staying alive is more important right now." Having considered her options, she decided against further argument. Turning to leave, she offered a parting remark, "Many thanks, young master, for sparing my life. Until we meet again." He watched her retreating figure disappear into the distance. The masked figure suddenly called out, summoning his men. 8 subordinates materialized instantly, responding respectfully, "Yes, sir." He ordered them, "Follow her. Investigate everything related to her." Meanwhile, elsewhere, Thieu Hualeng's maid, Dao Hoa, came running, calling out anxiously, "Mississippi, Mississippi, you finally made it. I've been waiting so long. I was afraid I was in the wrong place. I thought I wouldn't see you again." Thieu Hualeng happily praised her. "Dao Hoa, you did a great job. Without your help, I would never have been able to escape that farm by faking my death." Dao Hoa quickly urged, "Miss, we must hurry back to Jinling and report this to your father. Those cunning servants try to drown you." Thieu Hualeng said angrily, "If my father had any conscience, how could he tolerate my stepmother humiliating me like that, and then abandoning me in that rural village without a care?" Dao Hua Luk Jiaoba. "So what should we do? Where should we go now?" Thieu Hualeng pulled something from her sleeve as she confided in Dao Hoa. "Now, I'm alone and at a disadvantage. Seeking revenge will be incredibly difficult. We must first find a way to get help. I remember my mother arranged a marriage for me when I was young." Dao Hoa responded brightly, "Yes, with the young master of the Tran family in Tanha, Trandian. This jade pendant is your betrothal token." Mississippi, Thieu Hualeng gazed intently at the jade pendant, lost in thought about her fiancé. In Thieu Hualeng's memories, he was a bright, handsome, and gentle young man. Snapping back to the present, she frowned and sighed. Out of the blue, a fiancé appears. How annoying. Dao Hoa, beside her, offered encouragement. "Young Master Tran is a good person. If he knew you were in trouble, he would definitely help." Hearing her maid say this, Hualeng's eyes lit up. Excitedly, she told Dao Hoa, "Let's go. Let's go to Tanha and find my fiancé first. Let's see if he's willing to help me." The 5th day of the 7th month of the Zhao era. Snow fell, blanketing the entire palace in white. The palace maids were still busy with their work. Amidst the freezing weather at Tamden Gate, Tuk Fai, Yang Noyet Dung, and her 2 close maids were kneeling on the snow-covered brick floor. She was so cold that her hands were clasped together, her breath misting in the air. The maid kneeling beside her said worriedly, "Your Highness, you've been kneeling for 3 hours. If you continue like this, your health." Just then, the sound of a door creaking open was heard. Creak! An elderly eunuch poked his head out and asked, "Consort Tuk, are you still kneeling?" His Majesty said that no matter how long you kneel, he will not see you. Tuk Fai hurriedly pleaded, "Eunuch Li, please put in a good word for me. I truly didn't try to harm Kui Fai. I didn't expect her to listen to me and commit suicide." As soon as she finished speaking, a stream of blood suddenly flowed out, staining her dress red. The maid, noticing this, cried out in alarm, Your Highness. Your Highness, you're bleeding. Clutching her stomach in pain, she cried, my child, my child. Then she collapsed and fainted amidst the chaos. The only sounds remaining were the panicked screams of the two maids. Your Highness, your Highness, quickly, summon the imperial physician. Consort Took has fainted. Your Highness, wake up. Outside, the winter was bitterly cold, but inside Noktwen Palace, it was the opposite. The emperor was leisurely soaking in hot water, looking thoroughly relaxed. Eunuchly entered and reported, Your Majesty, Consort Took has miscarried. Yet, Ho Quinn remained unfazed. He coldly said, that young woman brought into the palace is truly foolish. Take her back to her palace to recover. If there's nothing else, she needn't come out. The eunuch respectfully obeyed. Yes, Your Majesty. Also, by your command, Lady Lu suddenly fell ill and has been taken back to the Marquis of Jinyang's residence. Ho Quinn leisurely stepped out of the hot water and commanded, inform the officials that I'm more noble consort Gue and have no intention of appointing an empress. There's no need to bother bringing anyone into the palace. He looked at the young, beautiful palace maid diligently wiping the water droplets from his body. He suddenly grasped the girl's soft hand and abruptly pulled her close to his well-built, six-pack physique, questioning, What is your name? The palace maid respectfully replied, This servant is Thursday Yuyan. Glancing at her face, which somewhat resembled noble consort Gay, Ho Quin's brow furrowed in displeasure. He suddenly and violently flung the girl into the water. Then, turning to leave, he angrily declared, I hate your eyes. They resemble noble consort Gue's too much. Get out of the palace. Having palace maids resembling noble consort Gue appear around me is certainly no coincidence. Noble consort Gue has just passed, and already someone couldn't resist sending someone into the palace to test my feelings. Meanwhile, Hua Lung and her maid, Dao Hoa, had stopped in Tanha. Dao Huayat Gimi Not Nudo, Miss Tanhais Shao Buting. Suddenly, from up ahead, the lively chatter of two commoners reached them. Hurry up. The wedding at the Tran residence is a grand affair. Let's go get some lucky money. Hua Lung couldn't help but wonder the Tran residence. Could it be? Dao Hoa, hearing their words, quickly ran over and inquired, Excuse me, sir, which young master of the Tran family is getting married? The tall man casually replied, Why, it's Tan Ha's talented young master, Trandian, of course. The shorter man beside him quickly interjected, shooing her away, Little maid, don't ask anymore. If we're late, we won't get any lucky money. Hua Lung, confirming that it was indeed her fiancé, felt a pang of sympathy and thought, I can't believe this Tran D and didn't keep his marriage promise. He dared to betray me and marry someone else. Truly, all men in this world are heartless and fickle. Thinking of this, she clenched her fists in anger, cursing under her breath. So two-faced, Dao Hoa, beside her, asked with concern, Miss, what should we do? Her mind made up, while Lung reassured her maid, Don't worry, I will definitely help you get justice. She quickly instructed Dao Hoa, Hurry, go to the Tran residence. At the Tran residence, the wedding was taking place amidst great fanfare and bustle. Elder Master Tran and Madame Tran were beaming with joy as they received congratulations from the guests. Congratulations, congratulations. Young Master Tran and Miss Vong are truly a match made in heaven. Outside, a voice suddenly announced, The bride has arrived. Amidst the expectant gazes of everyone present, the bride, Vong Lin Ni, with a gentle demeanor, was led by the groom, Tran Di, into the wedding hall. They looked truly happy. Just as the officiant began to recite the ritual words, First bow to heaven and earth, Hua Lung stormed in and shouted, Stop. You cannot perform this ceremony. Everyone around was startled and began to murmur, Who is this girl? How rude. How dare she interrupt someone's wedding? Where did this girl come from to cause trouble? An old woman stepped forward and asked loudly, Miss, who are you? Today is a joyous occasion for this family. Why are you here to cause a disturbance? Hua Lung declared resolutely, I am from the Thieu family of Kim Lang. I am the fiancé of young Master Tran Di and of the Tran family. May I ask why the Tran family is breaking their promise and marrying someone else today? The main hall immediately erupted. Officials from both families and the wedding guests buzzed with chatter. Ah, she is the real fiancé of young Master Tran. So who is the fiancé today? What is going on here? In the tense atmosphere, Madame Tran, unable to contain her anger, pointed at Hua Lung and shouted, Impossible. Miss Thieu's stepmother clearly told me that Miss Thieu had passed away from a serious illness. You are an imposter. Where did you come from daring to impersonate someone and disrupt the Tran family's wedding. Someone, get this imposter out of here. Hualong, unfazed, retorted, Madame Tran says Miss Thieu has passed away, but have you ever seen her body? Have you attended her funeral? Have you ever lit a single incense stick for her? Her sharp question made Madame Tran pause. Flustered, she stammered, and no, never. Although I never witnessed Miss Thieu's death myself. Do you have any proof that you are Miss Thieu? Hualong glanced at Tran Di and inquiringly. May I ask, young Master Tran, since you wish to break off the engagement and marry someone else, have you returned the engagement token to Miss Thieu? Tran Di answered awkwardly. I was heartbroken to hear of Miss Thieu's passing. My mother said the engagement token had been taken care of, so I'm not sure. Hualong quickly turned back to Madame Tran to continue her questioning. Madam, can you clarify? Have you returned the engagement token and officially broken off the engagement? Struck where it hurt, Madame Tran seemed to choke, her voice hesitant as she tried to evade the question. Today is An's wedding. I don't want to talk about breaking off the engagement. Hualong immediately retorted, is it that Madame Tran doesn't want to talk about it, but doesn't dare to? At the same time, she suddenly pointed at the bride and bluntly exposed the truth. If Madame Tran won't speak, then I will tell everyone. Years ago, my mother and the Tran family arranged a marriage and gave an engagement token to Tran Dian. And now, that token is hanging on the bride's sash. How is that possible? This is the engagement token the Tran family gave to me. Hualong calmly asked, May I ask, Miss Vong, is the character Lung engraved on the back of this jade pendant? Vong Lin Ni glanced at the jade pendant in her hand and realized the truth. She stammered, yes. Madame Tran said this jade pendant was especially for me, praising my refined taste. How could you know this? Hualong honestly revealed, this jade pendant is carved from purple Mo sun jade. One half was a birth gift from my mother. The character Lung is my courtesy name, and the other half, engraved with the character N, is currently in my possession. As she spoke, she held up her own jade pendant for everyone to see clearly. Then she suddenly glanced at the two elders of the Tran family, demanding an explanation. How could Madame Tran explain this? The evidence was clear, leaving Madame Tran speechless and stiff. She stammered, unable to utter a word. Beside her, old Master Tran could only hold his head in his hands, powerless, not daring to meet the scrutinizing gazes of the guests. Not stopping there, Hualong added a threatening remark. I will go to the magistrate and ask what the punishment is for stealing someone else's property. The surrounding crowd was once again shocked and began to murmur. Heavens, stealing someone's engagement token and not returning it is truly shameless. Is Madame Tran really such a person? That Miss Thieu is so pitiful. Tran Di could no longer remain silent. He looked sternly at his mother and questioned, Mother, is what she said true? Madame Tran sat motionless, not daring to meet her son's gaze. The entire hall seemed to hold its breath, waiting for a proper answer from her. Madame Tran, having no other recourse, could only cry out in distress. Madame Thieu said she was covered in boils and sores. How could she be worthy of my son? Hearing this, old Master Tran turned and rebuked her. Even so, you should have returned the engagement token before arranging another marriage. Look at this. How could you keep someone else's jade pendant and not return it? This is ridiculous, utterly humiliating. Madame Tran, scolded directly, felt both ashamed and angry, but in her heart, she still felt reluctant. It was a Mushan purple jade worth a fortune. Suddenly, she rushed over and snatched the jade pendant from Vong Lin Ni's hand, saying to her daughter-in-law, I'll give you something better. Don't take this one. Then, she held the jade pendant in front of Hualong and declared boldly, here's your jade pendant back. Today, we annul the engagement. Hualong refused to let her off so easily. She challenged Madame Tran with a provocative tone. Madame Tran, are you annulling the engagement just because you're returning the token? Do you consider the Thieu family's daughter something you can discard at will? Infuriated, Madame Tran snapped, what more do you want? Hualong began to recount, years ago, when you were down on your luck, my mother took you in. At the brink of death, while pregnant, my mother cared for you day and night, saving both you and your child. You owe your life to her, and that's why our families arranged the engagement. Now, Madame Tran, you want to break off the engagement. Do you intend to repay this kindness? Madame Tran retorted flippantly, your mother did it of her own free will. Why demand repayment for kindness? Hualong's voice hardened. It was because of caring for you that my mother fell ill, a serious illness for which no medicine worked. Madame Tran, you owe my mother her life. She grabbed Madame Tran, demanding justice. Madame Tran, tell me, how do you intend to settle this debt? Unwilling to yield, Madame Tran sneered. What are you scheming? I think you just don't want to break off the engagement. You're sickly and no one will marry you, so you want to latch onto our family. As she spoke, she pulled up Hua Lung's veil. Everyone look, you look like this, face full of boils. How could you possibly marry my son? But staring back at her was a beautiful face, Hua Lung's skin smooth and flawless. Tran Dian, witnessing this with his own eyes, gasped. Are you really Miss Thieu? Is Miss Thieu's mother still well? Madame Tran, equally stunned, asked in disbelief, Are you really Miss Thieu? Where are your boils? With a triumphant look, Hua Lung mocked. What, surprised to see me unharmed? Are you disappointed, Madame Tran? Madame Tran, backpedaling, retorted defiantly, I was also tricked by your stepmother for a time. I was confused, that's why I broke off the engagement. Had I known, Hua Lung cut her off. Even if I were covered in boils, it wouldn't be the ungrateful Tran family's place to break off the engagement. Tran Dian is faithless and untrustworthy. I'm the one breaking off the engagement with your family today. Hua Lung continued, her voice firm. I want the Tran family to publicly admit that you exploited my mother's death to betray your promise. Madame Tran immediately shrieked in protest. No, the engagement cannot be broken. It will ruin our family's reputation. My son still has to take the imperial examinations and become an official. We cannot lose face. She grabbed Hua Lung's hand and hastily compromised. We can't break off the engagement. My son will marry you. You'll be a concubine and, a secondary wife. How about that? Vong Lin Ni, tears welling in her eyes, cried out in indignation. No, you can't do this. This is humiliating. You're making me a laughingstock. Hua Lung quickly yanked her hand back, causing Madame Tran to stumble and fall. Looking down at Madame Tran sitting pathetically on the floor, Hua Lung sneered. Madame Tran seems to have lost her mind. She glared at her and warned, Do you expect me to repay kindness with kindness now? Madame Tran's face hardened, looking as if her blood pressure was about to spike. Seeing this, Master Tran quickly ordered the maids, Take Madame outside. Don't let her have a fit here. He then approached Hua Lung to negotiate. Miss Hua, this public airing of grievances will damage both our reputations. I am willing to compensate you with money. Name your price. Suddenly, from among the guests, a handsome young man burst out laughing, drawing everyone's attention. Master Tran scratched his face in confusion and asked, Master Bui, what are you laughing at? Master Bui responded bluntly, his voice dripping with sarcasm, a life, a marriage agreement, and you think you can settle it with money. I'm laughing at your hypocrisy. You're trying to trick Miss Hua into accepting money so you can accuse her of extortion, aren't you? The crowd began to murmur. Miss Hua clearly has integrity. She just wants an explanation. How could she be after money? They're treating her like a beggar, trying to dismiss her with money. Hua Lung smiled gratefully. Thank you, Master Bui, and thank you all for speaking up for me. However, if Master Tran is willing to compensate me, why wouldn't I accept? Master Bui frowned in disappointment. I wanted to help you, but I didn't expect you to be so greedy. She calmly presented her reasoning. Greedy? Haha, the young master is mistaken. Why should the Tran family be at fault, while I have to be the perfect victim, suffering in silence? Master Bui was speechless. He closed his eyes briefly, as if to hide his helplessness. He turned to leave, clicking his tongue and saying slowly, Forget it. It seems I shouldn't have interfered. Master Tran, on the other hand, appeared enthusiastic and continued to persuade her. As long as Miss is willing to settle this with money, everything can be negotiated. He smiled on the outside, but inside he was gloating. Humph, making such a fuss, isn't it just for money? Hua Lung wasn't about to let him off so easily. She smiled faintly and spoke cryptically. I'm afraid I've disappointed Master Tran. I can accept money, but it's not what I truly desire. Master Tran was stunned. Miss Hua, how can you go back on your word? Hua Lung chuckled and retorted, Going back on my word. Isn't that what I learned from the Tran family? Master Tran immediately became irritated and shouted, Then what do you want? She simply replied, Justice. I only want fairness. Hearing her answer, the expressions of Tran Di and Vong Lin Ni became worried. Tran Di and stealthily glanced at his bride-to-be with a look of apprehension. He then looked at Vong Lin Ni, who was silently weeping. He couldn't help but feel remorseful and tightened his hand, determined to act. Tran Di stepped forward boldly and bowed his head, admitting his guilt. Miss Hua, You are right. My family did break off the engagement without cause and greedily kept the jade pendant. I cannot justify these offenses. I'm married now. I absolutely cannot be fickle. I can't shirk my responsibilities in front of my wife. I, Trandian, am willing to announce to the world that the broken engagement was entirely our family's fault. Father, bring me paper and brush. I want to write a letter of apology to Miss Thew. Master Tran was utterly shocked by these words. He hastily reminded Dee and that this was impossible, that it would ruin his reputation and destroy his future. Tran Dian closed his eyes and said with resignation, Father, do you think that if I try to argue and refuse to admit fault today, I will have any reputation left in the future? Besides, my mind is made up. If you don't want me to live with this guilt for the rest of my life, please don't stop me. Meanwhile, in the back courtyard of the Tran residence, Madame Tran sat in the pavilion with her servant. Still fuming, she cursed that Jinx girl. She caused her own mother's death and ruined my son's wedding. I'm so angry I could die. The old servant offered her tea, urging her to drink and calm down. Madame Tran had just picked up the teacup when a servant girl rushed in. Panicked, madam. It's terrible. The young master has written a letter of apology to Miss Thew. Madame Tran was stunned by the news. She dropped the teacup, shattering on the ground. My son, how could you be so foolish? What did you do wrong? It's clearly that Jinx, unable to find a good husband, trying to ruin you. Madame Tran clutched her chest in distress. The old servant anxiously supported her and consoled her. Madam, the young master is simply too kind. If you ask me, madam, you shouldn't reason with her. You should find someone to teach that Jinx a lesson. Then she'll learn her place. At this, Madame Tran's eyes lit up. You're right. Quickly, find some servants and snatch that apology letter back from her. The old servant immediately obeyed. Yes, madam. She wasn't about to let it go. With a sinister look, she instructed the old servant, if she doesn't obediently hand over the apology letter, rip her outer robe off and throw her out into the streets. See if she still has the audacity to cause trouble and slander my son. At the main gate of the Tran residence, Tran Di informally presented the apology letter to Hua Lung in front of the crowd. He bowed deeply and sincerely said, Hua Lung, I apologize. She decisively snatched the letter and curtly replied, even if you regret it, you cannot atone for this transgression. Don't expect me to forgive you. With that, she coldly turned and left, adding scornfully, furthermore, you are not worthy to call my name, Hua Lung. Let's go. Tran Dian, his face etched with sadness, awkwardly approached Vong Lin Ni, who was still in tears. After stirring up trouble and leaving the Tran residence, Hua Lung spoke, Miss, are we just going to leave like this? Hua Lung replied indifferently, what else can we do? Did you want me to stay and attend their wedding? Dao Hoa, worried about her mistress, burst into tears. Miss, without the marriage agreement, what will you do? Hua Lung Sigid. She carefully explained to her maid, Dao Hoa, marriage isn't the only path for a woman. If it's not a good match, you should be glad I escaped it. From now on, the two of us will live well together. Upon hearing this, Dao Hoa cried even harder. But my miss is so good. Seeing her maid's distress, Hua Lung chuckled and tried to comfort her. Don't cry, don't cry. Crying is unbecoming. In the midst of their comforting exchange, she suddenly sensed danger. A voice from afar, belonging to the Tran family servants, rang out. There's that Thew girl. Catch her. Dao Hoa also quickly recognized the old servant who had been standing next to Madame Tran. Servants from the Tran household, armed with sticks, were rushing towards them, looking menacing. They were clearly up to no good. Without hesitation, Hua Lung grabbed Dao Hoa's hand, and the two of them ran for their lives before the menacing group could reach them. Dao Hoa fearfully asked, Miss, what should we do? Hua Lung quickly suggested, run, Dao Hoa. We'll each run in a different direction. Try not to get caught. I'll find you later. Dao Hoa hats the obey. Zets, Mis. The two separated and continued to run. However, as soon as Hua Lung turned in a different direction, the servants behind suddenly increased their pace. Don't worry about the maid. Just catch the one called Miss Thew. Hua Lung thought nervously, oh no, they're only targeting me. In this precarious situation, she suddenly saw a carriage ahead. Why is there a royal merchant's carriage here? Despite her confusion, She had no other choice but to climb into the carriage to hide. They're almost on me, so there's no time to think. I'll just borrow this place to hide for a bit. Outside, the servants continued their aggressive search. One angrily shouted, "Where's that damn girl? I clearly saw her running this way." Another reminded him, "Search carefully. Don't miss a single spot." Madam said whoever gets the apology letter gets double the reward. If we strip that girl's outer clothes and throw her out on the street in disgrace, the reward is 10 times that. Inside the carriage, Hualeng, sitting in the enclosed compartment, shuddered at their words. Madame Tran's methods are truly cruel. If I fall into their hands, I will surely lose all my honor. Just then, a man lifted the curtain, inviting another inside and saying, "Master Bowie, the Jade Guanyin has been in Tanha for 10 years. If we don't hear anything about it at the Tran family wedding today, should we return?" Master Bowie immediately snapped his fan shut. He resolutely replied, "Next month is my grandmother's birthday. It's the treasure she has been searching for 35 years. I must find it." His subordinate quickly urged the horses into motion. Master Bowie sat back comfortably in the carriage, his expression deep in thought as he pondered how to find the treasure. But suddenly, a slight movement from the enclosed compartment caught his attention. Master Bowie didn't hesitate. He flicked open the carriage's curtain with his fan and demanded, "Who's there? How dare you hide in my carriage?" Inside sat an unfamiliar, yet somehow familiar, young woman. Her face revealed a flicker of embarrassment at being discovered. When they finally saw each other clearly, they were both taken aback. Master Bowie stared, speechless for a moment. Then, in surprise, he shouted, "You." His voice echoed, reaching the ears of his subordinate who was driving. The young man quickly slammed on the brakes, bringing the carriage to a halt. Hualeng, caught off guard, lost her balance and stumbled forward. She fell right into Master Bowie's arms, landing on top of him in a compromising position. Their faces were so close that they could feel each other's breath. Her eyes were wide, unblinking, filled with awkwardness and embarrassment. Master Bowie, annoyed, snapped, "Get off me." Outside, Madame Tran's servants had caught up and were approaching. "Stop, we're pursuing a thief. The suspect may be in your carriage. Everyone inside, come out now." Master Bowie's subordinate warned them, "You've got some nerve. Do you know whose carriage you're stopping?" The old servant shouted back defiantly, "I don't care who you are. Even if it's the king of heaven himself, you have to come out. If you don't, we'll search the carriage ourselves." Hualeng covered Master Bowie's mouth. "They're here for me. Don't say a word." Master Bowie struggled against her. "Why should I help you?" Thinking quickly, she offered, "If you help me get rid of them, I'll tell you where the Jade Guanyin is." Master Bowie's eyes lit up. He quickly removed her hand and agreed. "All right, I'll help you. But if you try to trick me, you'll regret it." The old woman outside kept pushing forward, refusing to let us search. "Are they trying to protect the thief? Seize them all." Just as the words left his mouth, suddenly, a fan flew from the carriage like a gust of wind. It slapped each of the aggressively advancing servants across the face. The slaps weren't too hard, but enough to startle them back. The fan gracefully swept through the air before returning neatly to its owner's hand. Master Bowie stepped out slowly, radiating an air of cool confidence. His sharp gaze swept over the previously insolent crowd. Annoyance was evident on his face, but his imposing presence and cold demeanor silenced the servants. Anyone who glanced at him would recognize him. One servant nervously whispered into the old servant's ear, This is, it seems, the honored guest our master invited today." Master Bowie, uncompromising, commanded his subordinate in a voice filled with authority. "Even the Jade Emperor himself would have to yield to me here. Clear the way." "Yes, sir," the subordinate replied, respectfully drawing his sword. Without much delay, the carriage resumed its journey, leaving the bruised and battered servants sprawled on the ground. Inside, Master Bowie sat calmly with his legs crossed, exuding an air of nobility. Hualeng watched Madame Tran's servants through the window. She worried to herself, "The Tran household is a hidden danger. I must leave quickly." And this man, so he's the infamous, prodigal young master of the Bowie family, the foremost merchant family in the royal court, as the rumors say. She then clasped her hands respectfully. "Thank you for saving me, Master Bowie." Impatient, Master Bowie replied, "No need for such polite pretense. I help you on one condition. Tell me, where is the jade guanine? Hua Lung answered honestly, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. The guanine has been destroyed. You needn't waste your time searching for it. Hearing this, Master Bui became instantly furious. I shouldn't have trusted you, a slippery woman. I think you're just making this up to escape. Tan truck, throw her out in front of the Tran residence. Hua Lung calmly explained, Master Bui, please hear me out before you act. 35 years ago, the Bak family in Tanha acquired a precious stone from the western regions to carve a jade guanine. This object was over 4 feet tall and radiated a brilliant light. The most unique feature was that the upper half of the guanine glowed a vibrant red, a rare and breathtaking crimson. It was like a compassionate bodhisattva, saving all beings from suffering, standing amidst 1,000 rays of merciful light, looking down upon all living things. Master Bui listened to her explanation, astonished. What she described perfectly matched the information he had gathered. How could an ordinary person like her know this? He hastily probed, so, tell me, how was the jade guanine destroyed? Hua Lung lowered her head in thought, beginning to recall the past. In my past life, long after Hua Qin ascended the throne, he didn't fulfill his promise to make me his empress. My family, the Van, specifically offered the jade guanine to curry favor and solidify my position. Unexpectedly, the Serenity Vase was filled with poison. Hua Qin discovered it and, in a fit of rage, smashed the guanine. It shattered into many pieces. Prime Minister Van truly has eyes and ears everywhere. Did he bring poison into the palace to warn me? Or did he intend to poison me directly? Impossible, Your Majesty. My father is absolutely loyal. He would never harbor treacherous intentions to harm you. Consort Van, you are in the palace, yet your thoughts are only with the Van family. The evidence is clear. Do you still wish to protect your father? This concubine wouldn't dare. But, Your Majesty, don't forget my father's contributions in helping you ascend the throne. You cannot easily condemn him and chill this concubine's loyal heart. Consort Van, are you threatening me? Are you saying without the Van family, I wouldn't be emperor? This consort wouldn't dare, Your Majesty. You've made me your consort, yet you constantly aid the Van family. Hua Lung, you have truly disappointed me. Thinking about it now, whether it was Hua Huin plotting against the Van family, or the Van family truly wanted to kill Hua Huin, it's all just a power struggle between the emperor and his officials. No matter which side, I'm just a pawn. This is infuriating. Master Bui urged, come on, tell me. How do you know all this? Hua Lung covered her mouth with a smile. How I know isn't important. I have a proposition for you, Master Bui. The jade guanine has been destroyed. You can simply find a craftsman to carve a new one. He retorted gruffly, easy for you to say. Pink jade is incredibly rare, and it's even harder to find a craftsman skilled enough to carve such an intricate guanine. Don't make me any more anxious. She leaned closer and whispered, Master Bui, I have a way to forge a jade guanine. He was immediately skeptical. Just you. Hua Lung laughed, her eyes crinkling at the corners. Find me a blacksmith's workshop. I'll prove it to you. Not long after, at a blacksmith's forge, the clang of hammer against metal rang out sharply. A blacksmith emerged and greeted them warmly. Welcome. What can I do for you? Tan Truck casually pulled out a hefty silver ingot and addressed the owner. Our master wishes to borrow your workshop for a while. The blacksmith's eyes lit up at the sight of the silver. Certainly, certainly. Please come in. The two were quickly led inside and stopped before a blazing furnace. Master Bui smirked. Let's see what tricks you have up your sleeve. Hua Lung calmly reached into her sleeve and pulled out her Mozhan jade pendant. What do you think of this, Master Bui? This Mozhan jade. He simply replied, it's very good. Hua Lung smiled, then watched closely. Finishing her words, she unhesitatingly and decisively threw the valuable jade pendant directly into the furnace. The blacksmith, startled, cried out, heavens, this young lady is actually destroying such a precious piece of jade. Hua Lung simply brushed her hands off and calmly replied, this jade bears the name of a betrayer. What's there to regret? Master Bui, also impressed, said, I see you've had your engagement broken off, yet you don't seem saddened at all. Moreover, you don't appear to have any regrets about that Trandian. In fact, you seem quite indifferent. Hua Lung thought to herself, I never liked that young master of the Tran family, so of course, I wouldn't be sad. But outwardly, she maintained her composure and said, only fools cry and wail when an engagement is broken. For me, living for revenge is my proudest purpose. After chatting for a while, the perfect moment arrived. Hua Lung quickly retrieved the jade pendant from the furnace. Without hesitation, she plunged the red-hot jade directly into the water basin. A sizzling sound immediately rang out, accompanied by a billowing mist. Submerged in the water, the jade gradually cooled, its surface transforming into a strange, mystical color. Very quickly, she pulled it out of the water and presented it. "Master, please take a look. If ruby can't be found, other jade, when melted with a strong fire, can also create a similar pink hue." Master Bowie, witnessing this with his own eyes, couldn't hide his astonishment. The Mozhan purple jade, having just been fired, had now transformed into a brilliant ruby, indistinguishable from the real thing. Hualong, with a confident expression, concluded, "Now, we just need to find a skilled sculptor. Creating a jade guanine won't be difficult." Hearing this, Master Bowie chuckled, a satisfied look on his face. "Very interesting." Hualong seized the opportunity and brightly asked, "This favor of saving my life has been repaid, Master. Can I leave now?" But things weren't as simple as she thought. Master Bowie quickly unfurled his fan, blocking her path with a decisive movement. The corner of his lips curled into a mischievous smile. "No," he said, "you can't leave so easily." Seeing his audacity, Hualong furrowed her brows in confusion, her eyes questioning, "What else is there?" So she quickly asked, "What do you mean by stopping me, Master Bowie?" He, in turn, sternly questioned her, "A young lady like you, how do you know these things?" Hualong's gaze dropped, lost in thought. Recalling the past, she replied, "My late mother taught me. My mother, Bak Kui Din, was the foremost of the Bak family silver house. She was the heir to the largest silver shop in Tanha Prefecture. The Bak family silver house was renowned as a wealthy merchant family, with a prosperous business and abundant wealth. They were truly incredibly rich. Yet, she stubbornly fell in love with a poor scholar. That Thieu Lang was my father. Kui Din, you've come. Lang Lang, I brought you some pastries. You're so good to me, Kui Din. I don't want to let you down. Let's get married." All right, I agree. Father, please consent to our marriage. Please don't forbid us. Father, please let us be together. We truly love each other. I only want to marry Thieu Lang in this life. Please grant us our wish. Don't talk nonsense. A poor scholar like you, how can you be worthy of my daughter? The Bak patriarch didn't agree to their union, so the two eloped that night. "Kui Din, you gave up your wealthy life at the Bak house for me. Do you regret it?" "Lang Lang, I don't regret it." After they were married, Bak Kui Din gave birth to Thieu Hualong. Gradually, she passed on the Bak family's craftsmanship to her. "My dear Hualong, look at this flower hairpin from the Bak family silver house. Just one glance, and you know it was made by your maternal grandfather. Mother, you're so beautiful. Mother, why are you crying? Mother, why are you crying? I miss my maternal grandfather. I've sent letters, but he never replies. My husband won't let me go back either. I don't even know how father is doing. Time flies by so quickly. Ilato, by guiding Falgoviliu. Father, your daughter has wronged you the most in this life, but I no longer have the face to go back and see you. Father, your unfilial daughter. Mother has passed away just like that. I'll never have the chance to return to the Bak family. My mother came from the Bak family. These are all secret techniques, not to be shared outside our family." Master Bowie was somewhat impressed. He then suggested, "So you're a descendant of the Bak family. Could you make a fake purple jade guanine for me? But it has to look real." Hualong immediately confirmed, "Of course I can. As long as Master Bowie provides 5 inches of high-quality jade, and aside from that, I'll need a fee of 1,000 taels." Master Bowie generously said, "I can give you as much as you want, but if you can't make it, don't blame me for breaking your hands." She happily accepted, finalizing the deal. Master Bowie is truly generous, she thought. Inwardly, she was thinking, if I want to go home and take revenge on that wicked father and vile stepmother, I first need to accumulate a lot of wealth and establish myself. Leaving the blacksmith shop, Hualong worriedly said, "Master Bowie, I've lost my maid. I need to find her first." Suddenly, a woman ran up and called out, "Hualong, you must be Hualong, right?" Hualong instinctively turned around. She was a little surprised and asked the woman who she was. She was also curious, wondering who this woman was. In Thieu Hualong's memory, she didn't recognize her, yet she looked somewhat familiar. The woman suddenly rushed forward and grabbed her hand. She exclaimed joyfully, "Are you really Hualong? I'm your mother's younger sister." "Bak Tu Ding, You should call me little aunt. Your mother wrote to me and said she gave birth to a daughter. You look just like her. I recognized you at first glance. Their joyful reunion was short-lived. Two old women wielding canes stormed over and yelled, "Bak Tu Din, haven't you finished the laundry yet? You lazy, good-for-nothing." Before she could explain, the two women mercilessly began beating her with their canes. Bak Tu Din cried out in pain, dropping the wash basin. The clothes inside spilled out and became soiled. Seeing this, one of the women shrieked, "You dare dirty the master's clothes, you wretched girl. I'll teach you a lesson." Hualong couldn't just stand by and watch. She quickly picked up a garment from the ground and unexpectedly threw it right in the face of the aggressive old woman. The sudden attack startled her, causing her to stumble. Seizing the opportunity, Hualong pushed her with all her might from behind. The old woman lost her balance and fell to the ground with a painful thud. Hualong rushed to Bak Tu Din's side, asking anxiously, "Little aunt, are you all right?" The old woman scrambled to her feet, pointing at Hualong and shouting, "Who are you?" "We're disciplining our servant." "What business is it of yours?" Bak Tu Din also spoke up, denying, "I'm not a servant. I'm working to earn money, not selling myself to you as a slave." The woman retorted angrily, "You haven't paid your debts, and you dare talk back. If you don't pay, we can scold and beat you as we please." Hualong stepped forward and declared boldly, "How much does she owe you?" "I'll pay." She spoke confidently, but then she checked her purse and panicked. "Oh no, my money is with Tao Hua." She quickly turned to Master Bui, pleading, "Could you advance me some of my wages?" Master Bui was startled at being addressed. He looked at her, speechless. Hualong put on her most amiable expression, her eyes sparkling with hope. Master Bui frowned, looking troubled. He quickly turned his face away, feigning disinterest. Undeterred by his indifference, she persisted, pulling out a jade pendant. "Here, I'll leave this with you, Master Bui. I won't run away." Seeing her determination, Master Bui hesitated for a moment. Finally, he relented and gave an order. "Tan Truck, give her the money." Hualong's face lit up. Beaming, she offered a flattering remark. "Master Bui, you are truly a kind and righteous man." With the two old women dealt with, Hualong finally noticed Bak Tu Din's sorry state. Looking at the bruises on her skin and her tattered clothes, Hualong was taken aback. She wondered to herself, the Bak family runs the most prestigious money-lending house in Tanha. How could they have fallen on such hard times? She quickly helped her aunt up and asked, "Aunt, why do you owe those people money?" Bak Tu Din burst into tears and recounted her woes. "That year, when my older sister and Fu Lang ran away, my grandfather was furious. He caught a chill and couldn't get out of bed. After that, the Bak family's money-lending house was swindled. My grandfather needed medical treatment and medicine, and we incurred a substantial debt. I can only wash clothes to repay them." Listening to the tragic story of her maternal family, Hualong felt a pang of sympathy. Fu Hua's mother was just like me in my past life, blinded by love. She made her own mistakes and brought misfortune upon those around her. Fortunately, I now have a chance to make amends for everything. With that thought, she addressed her aunt. "After I find my maid, Tao Hua, may I visit grandfather?" Bak Tu Ding vidi li avet. That afternoon, at the Bak family's small courtyard. "Coming quickly. Grandfather will be so happy to see you. He can't walk anymore, and his health isn't good, but he refuses to take his medicine. Please try to persuade him." The door slowly opened, and Hualong peeked inside. Before her sat a frail, elderly man leaning back against a worn wooden chair. His gaze was distant, fixed on the setting sun. Without hesitation, she approached him, her eyes shimmering with a deep sadness. Seeing her approach, the old man, Bak Lao Jia, spoke with a hint of reproach. "Kui Din, is that you? You still have a nerve to show your face here." Hualong, moved, called out, "Grandfather." The old man looked at her in surprise, his voice trembling. You aren't Kui Din, are you? What did you just call me?" She quickly knelt down and said respectfully, "I am Bak Kui Din's daughter. I am your granddaughter, Hualong." Bak Lao Jia's hand trembled as he spoke, his voice choked with emotion. "Hualong, you've grown so much. Where is your mother?" Hualong quickly took his frail hand in hers. Sobbing, she replied, "Mother. Mother passed away 5 years ago." Upon hearing the news, Bak Lao Jia froze. Pain filled his eyes, and he closed them tightly, trying to suppress his emotions. But the anguish on his face revealed an inconsolable grief. Hualong continued, "Before she died, Mother said that you never replied to her letters. She thought you hadn't forgiven her. She felt guilty for betraying your love and care. She said if there's a next life, she would become a swallow, perching on your roof, bringing you only joy through spring, autumn, winter, and summer. As she spoke, she recalled memories of her mother. She remembered watching swallows with her, perched on the branches, then taking flight. Hualong, if I could fly like those swallows, I would fly back to visit you, my grandfather. Hearing this, Bak Lao Jia roared angrily. Preposterous. A daughter of Bak, Tuan reduced to a mere swallow. What use do I have for a swallow? Hualong's voice suddenly became serious. Grandfather, Mother knew she was wrong. She regretted it. But 2 years after Mother died, Father married a pregnant woman. I'm certain they were conspiring together long before that. So I can't help but suspect Mother's death was no accident. Bak Lao Jia, hearing this, couldn't hold back his tears. He burst into tears, lamenting, Kui Din, my daughter, I never received a letter from you. From the very beginning, I knew Thieu Lang was no good. That's why I forbade you from marrying him. Hualong's eyes hardened as she comforted him. Mother meant no harm. She was just too kind. She shouldn't have died so bu ming bu bai li. Grandfather, please rest assured. I will definitely find out the truth. In her heart, she resolved, I will take back everything Thieu Hualong lost. Seeing her resolve, the old man replied with satisfaction, Good, good. This is truly my granddaughter. After reuniting with Bak Lao Jia, Hualong didn't forget to inquire about the silver shop. Aunt, tell me clearly how the silver shop was lost all those years ago. Tell me everything. Bak Tu Din recounted sadly. That year, after your grandfather suffered stroke, we were preoccupied with his treatment and neglected the business. There was an order we couldn't deliver on time. Initially, we planned to just compensate them, but unexpectedly, that order was a trap set by Engying Swan Silver Shop. They demanded 10 times the compensation. Engying Swan Silver Shop came to collect the debt every day. I was powerless and could only transfer the silver shop to them, so I could focus on caring for your grandfather. Hualong asked, Why are you asking about this? She then boldly declared, I want to take back the Bak family silver shop. Bak Tu Din exclaimed worriedly. The Bak family silver shop is now in the hands of Engying Swan Silver Shop. They are all cunning and ruthless. Hualong, don't provoke them. She calmly reassured her aunt, Don't worry, I'll figure something out. Master Bui suddenly spoke up sarcastically from behind. What nerve? You, with no money and no power, how do you plan to take back the silver shop? Annoyed, Hualong turned around and questioned, Master Bui, haven't you left yet? He replied leisurely, Of course I have to keep an eye on you. What if you take the money and run? I'll have your family pay me back. Unable to argue further, she lunged forward to pull him away. I won't run. After I've settled my family matters, I'll come find you. He stubbornly resisted, refusing to budge. I want to stay and watch the fun. Tan Truck, who had just finished wiping a chair, looked at the two of them with exasperation. Master Bui promptly plopped down onto the freshly cleaned chair. He said shamelessly, You told me to leave, but I won't. Hualong, refusing to be outdone, shook the chair, preventing him from sitting comfortably. You just want to see me make a fool of myself, don't you? He retorted, Have I seen you make a fool of yourself too little? Unfortunately, the wooden chair suddenly let out a loud crack. Master Bui instantly fell backwards. He landed unceremoniously on the ground, looking utterly ridiculous. Seeing this, Tan Truck rushed over in alarm. Young master, are you all right? 3 parts angry and 7 parts embarrassed. He yelled, I'm fine. It's all her fault. Have her help me up, or I'll demand compensation immediately. Threatened, Hualong quickly extended her hand, her voice softening. Master Bui, be careful. As soon as she finished speaking, Master Bui grabbed her hand and yanked her down. Hualong lost her balance and landed sprawled on the ground with him. Annoyed, she scrambled to her feet. Master Bui, getting the better of her, gloated triumphantly. I always get my revenge. Hualong, unable to contain her frustration any longer, yelled furiously, You. And so, the two began to brawl, causing Dao Hoa outside to worry incessantly. Tan Truck could only watch, speechless. Just then, a knock came at the door, accompanied by a voice. Is anyone home? Bak Tu Din rushed to the door. Upon opening it, she saw a young man. Curious, she asked who he was looking for. The young man quickly replied, Is this the maternal home of Miss Thieu? I'm Trandy and may I ask if Miss Thieu is here? Hualong, in the midst of a brawl with Master Bui, abruptly stopped. Trandian, what are you doing here? Trandian, witnessing the equally matched fight, exclaimed in surprise, Miss Thieu. Master Bui, why are you two together? Both of them shouted in unison, None of your business. What's it to you? The blunt reply left Trandy in speechless and bewildered, suddenly the center of attention. He quickly explained, I heard my mother sent someone to make trouble for you. So, I inquired about the location of your maternal home. Hua Lung interrupted, her voice firm. If the Tran family insists on forcing this, then I will risk everything to perish together with you all. Tran Di immediately denied this. No, I specifically came here to apologize. This matter is due to my mother's stubbornness and refusal to change her ways. Seeing you safe puts my mind at ease. I've taken her to the temple to pray for blessings. She won't come to bother you anymore. Master Bui, arms crossed, observing the scene, sarcastically remarked, finally said something sensible. Hua Lung turned and said coldly, I hope you can do as you say. If there's nothing else, leave. Vong Lin Ni, from inside a carriage, suddenly spoke. Wait a moment. Miss Thieu, may I have a word with you? Hua Lung turned back at the sound of her voice, slightly surprised. Miss Vung, is something the matter? A while later, the sky had darkened and filled with stars. The two met in a quiet corner of the courtyard. Vong Lin Ni suddenly pulled out a stack of banknotes. She personally handed it to her and sincerely said, Miss Thieu, this is compensation for my husband and me. It's not much. I hope you don't mind. Hua Lung was a little surprised by this action, but she quickly waved her hand in refusal. I already made myself clear at the Tran residence today. I don't need money. If Miss Vong wants to use money to silence me, then give up that idea. Please leave. Vong Ling Yi imeditan gozet ho. No, I don't mean that. I just hope Miss Thieu's anger will subside soon. Hua Lung couldn't help but feel curious. You're openly helping Tran Di, and aren't you bothered by what happened between him and me? Vong Lin Ni sincerely replied, At first I was angry, but then Dian wrote me a letter of apology. I want to face this hardship with him. After saying that, her expression became resolute. Holding the stack of banknotes in both hands, she sincerely offered them, hoping Hua Lung would accept. Seeing her determination, Hua Lung hesitated for a moment. To accept the money without guilt, she said, In that case, I also have a gift for Miss Vong. This is Tran Di's apology letter. I'm giving it to you. If you live well in the future, burn it. But if you don't, this will be a powerful weapon against the Tran family. Vong Lin Ni's eyes widened in surprise. She didn't expect Hua Lung to hand over something so important. She hesitantly pushed the letter back and said apologetically, You went through so much trouble to get this apology letter. How can you get it to me so easily? Hua Lung quickly placed the letter back in Vong Lin Ni's hand and gently persuaded her. There's no animosity between us. Consider it an apology for disrupting your wedding. Besides, if this apology letter were made public, the Tran family would lose face. Wouldn't I also lose face then? Vong Lin Ni took the letter, her eyes flickering. A sense of gratitude welled up in her heart as she stammered, Thank you. Then she lowered her head, her voice more sincere. Thank you, Miss Thieu. After everything, Vong Lin Ni and Tran Di and said their goodbyes and left, leaving Hua Lung with a thick stack of banknotes in her hand. Master Bui, who had been observing from the roof, suddenly spoke in a teasing tone, feigning benevolence. Accepting money, are we? Hua Lung turned around, her voice laced with disapproval. Master Bui, do you have a penchant for eavesdropping now? She quickly tucked the stack of banknotes into her sleeve, then continued nonchalantly, Who doesn't like money? Besides, I'm not some benevolent goddess. I don't do good deeds expecting nothing in return, Bui. Master Bui feigned curiosity. If you return the apology letter like this, doesn't that mean the Tran family won't face any punishment? She replied indifferently. Who says they won't be punished? Who knows? One day, they might wake up to find this apology letter plastered everywhere. They'll live the rest of their lives in fear and anxiety. He continued inquisitively. What if Vong Lin Ni returns the apology letter to the Tran family? Hua Lung calmly revealed her deception. The letter I gave Vong Lin Ni was a copy I had Dao Hoa write. If she's a good person, this apology letter can guarantee her a peaceful life. If she uses it to curry favor with the Tran family, I'm afraid it will only lead to their utter disappointment. Master Bui furrowed his brow and sighed. You are truly the most scheming woman I've ever met. Hua Lung simply waved her hand dismissively. You've still seen too little of the world, Master Bui. The next morning, in the Bok family's small courtyard, Hua Lung, dressed in men's clothing, asked confidently, Dao Hoa, how do I look? Dao Hoa praised her effusively. Our miss is the most beautiful person on this street. Overhearing this, Master Bui immediately quipped, Your maid's eyesight isn't very good. Hua Lung didn't bother to argue. She turned to Bak Tu Din and said, Aunt Bak, I'm going to town today to inquire about matters related to the Bak family's silver shop. Please take care. She bid farewell to the two young masters behind her with a bright smile. Didn't I ask Master Bui and Tan Truck to come along? I'll be safe with them. Tan Truck bowed, slightly in agreement. Master Bui, putting on airs, said smugly, with this young master's skills, who would dare cause trouble? He then paused, realizing something wasn't quite right. Why do I feel like your bodyguard? She didn't seem to mind, eager to leave. A moment later, the three of them were strolling down the bustling street, filled with the lively sounds of shoppers and vendors. Master Bui excitedly pointed at everything around them. This, and this. I want them all. Hua Lung scowled, her voice about to erupt. Master Bui, how much more do you intend to buy? He ignored her, chuckling smugly. Aren't you pretending to be my servant today? Behave and follow me. He continued his shopping spree, picking up a grasshopper made of coconut leaves, his face alight with excitement. I didn't know the commoner's market had so many toys. Hua Lung, beside him, struggled under the weight of his purchases. Seeing her plight, Tan Truck offered, let me carry some of that for you. Tears welled up in her eyes. Tan Truck, you're so kind. Suddenly, at a street corner, a commotion drew everyone's attention. A puppet show. Let's go see. The puppeteer announced. The play is about to begin. Today, we continue the story of the cunning and treacherous noble consort. Right after the noble consort fell ill, the Tuk consort, whom she had previously humiliated, patiently waited for the right moment. To gather evidence of her abuse of power for personal gain, harming the nation and its people. She then presented it to His Majesty. In the end, the noble consort died suddenly. It was her retribution. The audience cheered excitedly. She deserved it. Somewhere in the crowd, someone yelled, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel, everyone. Master Bui watched with a weary sigh. Truly, even stories of the royal family are fabricated and spread far and wide. Hua Lung suddenly spoke, her voice low. We should go. We have matters to attend to. Master Bui feigned confusion. Why? Shouldn't we stay and hear the rest? It's such an interesting fabrication. But when he looked closely, he noticed the tears welling up in the corners of her eyes. Master Bui was surprised. Do you sympathize with that noble consort one? Hua Lung sadly expressed. The people think noble consort one was cruel, but I think she was pitiful. Master Bui calmly remarked. She must have been scheming to climb to the position of noble consort. And those accusations against her weren't fabricated. She quickly turned, her voice thick with resentment. Do you also think she deserved to die? Master Bui patted her shoulder and shared his thoughts. The path to becoming emperor is paved with unimaginable schemes. Supreme royal power. The vastness of the Tuong Fu. And yet, a woman bears the brunt of the blame. It's truly laughable. Meanwhile, in a corner of the street, a red-haired man sat in a carriage, secretly observing them. He slightly lifted the curtain and reported to the person inside. Master, I've investigated thoroughly. She is Thieu Hua Lung from Minchao District. Her father is Thieu Lang, the left censor-in-chief. Her mother, Lady Bak, passed away when she was 12. The mysterious figure in the carriage tapped their fingers thoughtfully. Then, resting their chin on their hand, they murmured Thieu Hua Lung. Wan Hua Lunch. Her name is the same as the deceased noble consort. Can such a coincidence exist in this world? Please subscribe to our channel for the next episode and other exciting videos. Thank you.